Hey guys, Wade Willis here for my breakdown of Higurashi Go, episode 19. We continue to move forward past the end of Kai, and this time we actually went through the time period even faster. We started off with a studying montage. I was hoping they were going to have maybe some Rocky songs in there, but alas, they kept it a little bit different. In this video, I'm going to break down and review the episode, and then I'm going to go into kind of theories and predictions at the end of the video, and I'll let you guys know when I go into that if you do not want to see that part of the video. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel. I have tons of anime reactions, reviews. I'm doing my playthrough of Umineko, so if you guys are a fan of the When They Cry series, you should definitely check out that playthrough. And yeah, overall, it was a very good episode. I talked about in my reaction that the pacing was a bit slow. Here's the deal. I liked the episode a lot. The only reason I feel like it was a bit slow is in my mind, I kind of have like a timer that we don't have that many episodes of this show left. And for me, I kind of feel like we're not going to have a season 2. Maybe there's going to be some crossover with Umineko and they're going to have a whole other anime after. I kind of doubt that part. We may get a remake of Umineko or something. But I just kind of feel like we don't have that much left. So, like, I felt like this was needed. But yeah, it just, at the time, it felt like it was going slow. It wasn't slow, but that's just how I kind of felt and why I felt that way. Really, they could not have gone through this whole process any faster if they would have. Seeing Rika and Satoko change, it would have not made sense at all. And even I had a few people comment saying that they felt like it was a little rushed with how we see Rika's changes and Satoko's changes. And I could see that viewpoint. I thought with the amount of episodes left, they couldn't really go much slower, in my opinion. But I thought it was well done. I did think the parts with Satoko and Rika like studying and pushing each other and having all their friends help them and their teacher help them be able to pass this test, it was really touching, and I was really excited seeing them persevere and be able to pass that test with each other. Now, once they get into school, that is really where the large change happens. Rika is completely bought in. This was her life goal, to be able to go here and develop into like a high society person. Satoko, this is her goal because it's Rika's goal. So once she reached the school, there was no real motivating factor to make Satoko like continue to push herself. It's not like Satoko would not have been able to study and do well. We've seen that she can push herself, but as soon as she gets to the school, she's like falling asleep in class, all this stuff. And believe me, I've been in classes that are boring, but she stops applying herself. And I know there's stuff in this episode that makes Rika not look great, but at the same time, Satoko kind of starts to like give up on pushing herself and trying to better herself. And she really regresses in this episode back into her old habits. However, the thing that disappointed me the most is that Shion goes to the school and we did not get to see Shion. Those of you that have like watched my videos for a while know that I'm a huge Shion fan, so I mean, wouldn't want to see Shion in a schoolgirl outfit, but that's just me. Rika, as I had said previously, she really just dives in head first and really applies herself. She ends up being accepted by like some of the popular girls. She's having debates on like really deep subjects with all these girls and is completely accepted by these girls. Rika at first is like trying to see if Satoko wants to come in, and is Satoko sees that Rika is kind of trying to achieve like her goal. And it is nice of her that she kind of like steps back and is like, well, I'll let you try to do that. However, by doing this and not moving forward with her, this really does kind of help put a huge gap in between them. One big theme that I noticed a lot in this episode was Satoko assuming that Rika would just like give up on her goals and how she was acting. And the two times that Satoko brought this up, the first was that Rika was going to just like give up on studying because Rika doesn't like studying. She was wrong. They put like a year and a half investment in studying and got into the school. And then the same thing with Rika kind of adjusting to high society and stuff. And Satoko kind of just looked at it as a phase and just saw that the old Rika would just come back. And at the end of the episode, we see that Satoko, she's put in like kind of a remedial program and starts to really resent Rika for Rika moving forward. And at the end of the episode too, Rika offers to help Satoko, and Satoko like declines it and does her like sassy laugh thing, and Rika's new friends kind of like start hating on her. Now, should Rika have defended Satoko there? Yes. At the same time, the way Satoko, it's the same thing as regressing. She has too much pride and doesn't want help from her friend, that she's just like, no, I'm, goes back to kind of her old ways. Now, one thing, another problem with that, in my opinion, with Rika, you mean not standing up for Satoko there, is that she didn't really ask Satoko about this alone. Really, for a situation like that, asking in front of other people, you're probably not going to get a good response back. I do believe that Rika's heart was in the right place wanting to help her, but if she really was going to get a positive result and maybe rekindle what they had and be able to like tutor Satoko, she should have pulled her aside and said it to her, because in that, we don't know for sure that the girls heard, but they probably did. She was standing kind of next to them, and they definitely would have overheard, in my opinion. And I don't think that was a good look for her to call her out kind of in front of people. Am I completely blaming Rika for all of this? No. Satoko could have been paying attention in class and applying herself while she was in class. And the remedial program is really kind of depressing. And one girl kind of says it to Satoko that she still has a chance to get out of it because she's in her first year. All of them in there, I believe, were second years, and you're basically screwed once you're to that level. And this is where I'm going to go into some of like theories and predictions. Obviously, we could kind of tell like the wedge between Rika and Satoko is going to continue to grow. We could see the resentment in Satoko, and there's a few ways I can see this going. One way is that Satoko just keeps building and building that resentment. She eventually like kills Rika because she hates her and is given the power to loop by some witch that's there. But Satoko's mostly driven on her own. There's also the possibility that Satoko kind of teams up with a witch there. A cool way to take the story would be, well, Rika's kind of has her debutante friends and is moving on with Satoko. Satoko makes a single friend who is maybe secretly a witch or is possessed by a witch, and that's who she makes friends with. And Satoko and this witch hate these debutante, like bougie girls who think they're hot shit, and they just massacre them, and the witch wants to punish Rika with Satoko over and over again. That's another idea. There's also the possibility that Satoko, maybe she gets kicked out of school, goes back to Hanimizawa, and maybe Hanyu finds out about this. That's how they team up. Um, that is another possible option. Or Satoko could just get possessed by a witch at this school, and all of this is kind of Satoko's like change. Really is not her. It's being possessed by, you mean, some entity. So I don't know. Those are kind of the ways I'm seeing it right now. Like where I'm at in Umineko, I've only really met Bern Castell, who is like Rika, and then uh, Beatrice, and then Lambda Delta's been mentioned, but I don't really understand Lambda Delta's powers. Some of you guys have brought up another witch, Featherine, I believe. I have no idea who the hell that is. I don't even know what Feathering looks like. But it seems like that's like kind of a popular theory in previous videos of mine in the comments that people think that that's who it might be. But yeah, I'd love to hear your guys' theories. Again, I don't know if people's theories changed much from this episode. For the most part, it kind of went how we thought it was going to go, and we're just learning more. The one after this, it's going to be a make or break for a lot of our theories. But I'd love to hear your guys' theories. Just as a reminder, guys, like at this point, you can't really like spoil the original Higurashi or give away too much. Like most of those things have been touched on. Uh, but if you're going to talk about Umineko, put spoiler on there so I read with caution, or anyone that's reading Umineko can read with caution. But overall, most of you guys know that I'm like doing that right now, and what you guys are saying about it, you're kind of just mentioning witches and you're not giving away plot points. So I appreciate that, since I'm really into Umineko right now, and I'm going to be uploading probably 3 or 4 more videos of that this week. So, but yeah, guys, let me know what you thought about the episode. I did like it. I know in my reaction, I was kind of talking about it moving slow. I'm just kind of worried that we don't have that much left. But it was a good episode overall, and really the pacing was as fast as it could be with what they're diving into. But let me know what you guys thought.